What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Alright guys, some of you have been asking for guides for specific fights on normal mode Baron, so we're going to do that right now. We're going to set up a couple different guides for METUS, and we're going to do one for Isil, and then we're going to move up and do Kaisel. Now my purpose here is to obviously guide you guys through these fights specifically, show you guys the team that I'm using and how I'm beating these content. So METUS is interesting. He's got a couple different mechanics, so if you are planning to beat this, your hunters need to at least be about 530-ish to 550-ish to make it easy. Obviously, mine are much above, and this is the team that I'm planning to go with here. I've got Charlotte, Gunhee, and Cha. And the way this is going to work is Charlotte's going to be my main DPS with Cha, obviously. Charlotte's also going to be my main utility in terms of getting the orbs that I need to get, in terms of getting all of the break mechanics out of the way, and then Gunhee, of course, is going to be driving my full break mechanics and breaking the mob as it comes along. So in regards to Shadow Authorities, you can use Tusk if you want to do a lot more core damage with Charlotte, for example, or Gunhee, or if you want to do a little bit more crit. Now, because we are a little bit above the recommended, I'm going to go with the core damage, because obviously the core damage is heavy for both of these units, and that's going to drive this. Now, you can use Mireille, you can use Wu, you can use Hansi Mi if you need to, you can obviously use Harper if you have Harper as well too, or you can even use a full light team to get this done. Overall, this is a very simple fight and doesn't require too much difficulty to get it completed, but I do like this team a lot because there's a lot of damage and utility provided. And I know a lot of you guys might be like, why don't you have a support unit like Min? Well, my Min, quite honestly, is an A1, and I don't really like using him on this account because he doesn't serve the purpose that he's there for, in my opinion, which is essentially providing me as much crit damage as possible with that A1 version. But he does give the power gauge. Obviously, he does do punishment, which gives 15% more damage, so he does have his utility and purposes. So don't worry if you plan to use him, you're still in a good place, and highly would recommend sticking with that as well too. If Min is your go-to, there's nothing wrong with it at all. He will definitely play a major role in this, completing most of this content for you. Okay, so here we're gonna go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and break him now. At this point, I just like to use Charlotte's skill twice, allowing me to complete this break here, and then moving on from, there it is right there. And here I usually use Cha with doing her skills right there, the branded, because I want to get the ult off at the same time with as much crit as possible. So make sure he's not doing his second cast, which comes down in the middle and does his next phase. There you guys go, look at that damage right there. And remember, there is no blessings in this phase at the moment, so you're going to see at around 70%, he's going to start coming down with his next phase. Right here, we're going to push him, and that's going to be the first circle phase, which is where he drops the circles, and you have to go around and make sure you collect them and then break him. Right there it is, you guys can see here. Now, what I like to do in this phase is the reason why I use Charlotte for it, is I bring her in, and this is easy, right? You just hold the dash button down, look at this. Simply go through it all. Doesn't even matter if you get hit, her shield will absorb everything that happens, right? Refresh it again, there it is. And the beauty here is when you come back, she should have the 20 seconds up if you're ever at A1, and you can go ahead and recast this. Now, before you leave her, make sure you finish her core attack and then her second skill, and then get out while she does her second skill and get in your next unit, because she'll just continue casting it the whole time. Makes it so much easier to get that extra little bit of damage in and complete that full rotation for Charlotte, giving you a full range of motion, as well as great damage output as well too. Okay, so there you guys go. Make this nice and easy. Get rid of this little attack of his. Good. Oh, yeah. This skeleton can get kind of annoying with Charlotte's like slow attacks, so just be careful. We can be mindful of this. Here we're gonna bring Gunhee in. Now Gunhee's perfect for this because he also just absorbs everything, right? Just super easy to absorb all the damage. All right, here we go. We're gonna do our ult. Oh, wasted that. Here we go. Next phase of the break. Again, use Charlotte. Look at this. All this damage absorbed. Nothing affects her at all. Go back in and break. And again, the beauty here is go right into the next phase, right? And then you can start with your ult. And again, I would throw in a core one more time and then a second skill. And you'll see here, he's going down fairly fast, right? Pretty easy stuff. And again, Gunhee barely takes any damage. You guys don't even have to worry about him dying or anything like that. He's just so damn strong, man. Okay, let's get this 5 in. Get our ult up and complete this phase. This part sucks. This part does suck. You actually can die here. Just be careful. Be careful of that right there. I was gonna say, be careful of all those orbs coming in. Okay, lost Cha there. That kind of sucked. It's alright. Normally I don't die in this phase at all, but it is what it just to be able to get it done. I was trying to get that ult off too. I got a little greedy there. Should have dodged a couple more times. Probably would have been a lot smarter there, to be honest. Alright, throw in again. 4. Get your ult back. And you can probably finish us off with these two. If Cha was alive, this would have been over. All I needed to do was make that last hit, but it is what it is. It's fine. Again, this team is so easy to get it done. It doesn't really rely on Cha if you have an A3 Charlotte set up. She can get a lot of it done herself. You guys can see here, we're just about to finish it up. Okay, so there you guys go. Honestly, there's so many ways to do this. I gave you guys a couple teams. Wind team can get this done. Dark team can get this done. Hell, the full light team can get this done. So there's a lot of different ways to complete this. Let's see here. Oh, this is pretty good. When the user lands basic 3. This is incredible, actually. Oh, amazing. This is amazing. Okay, great. I needed that for her specifically. And then we have this one here with wind, additional defense and damage increase. When the user hits, decreases their it decreases their damage taken. So that's good for Wu, for example. And you guys can see here, attack and additional MP. For wind, when the user uses ultimate skills, it increases critical damage basic skills by 12%. That's awesome for Mirai. Amazing for Mirai. And we got ourselves some solidified stones. So a couple good drops there. Now remember, in order to level up your cores, you need to use other cores to do so, right? So this is going to be a big deal for the core farming. And now with Isol's fight, I'll do a separate guide on that one just so you guys can get that in like under your belt in case some of you guys just want to watch this fight. Now in regards to my setup, I'll show you guys my gear here for everybody. So here's my Cha A5. Remember, this is my free-to-play account. I got very lucky with Cha's A5 and I crafted her A5 weapon. Her gear is 4-piece curse, 4-piece expert. Here are her stats. You guys can see that 50% crit, 199% critical hit damage. Damage increase could be a lot higher, by the way. It's not very high, but I do have 20k attack, which is also at this stage not the best. My Charlotte is the following. Let's see, I've got 4-piece or 8-piece curse, sorry, for her. The gear is not that great, by the way. I need way better gear. I've only got 16,000 defense, which should be way higher for her. Like, we're looking at maybe 21k defense at the very least. I got 50% crit, 193 crit hit damage, and I've got myself only 11.59 crit damage increase. So again, I'm suffering here from gear. It's mostly a gear issue for me, so I definitely need to farm more gear for her and get myself some better curse sets, and that's really what's stopping me from doing way more damage with her. So this is something you have to keep in mind, is that when you get these units here, you're gonna have to really focus on maximizing their output, and in order to do that, you're gonna need to farm some gear, right? So mine's not the greatest. She should definitely be higher than that, and then my gun, he probably is much better position than her. You guys can see here we've got ourselves 18k defense instead, 50% crit, 197% crit hit damage, and 14.46 damage increase. So overall, not the greatest gear for all 3 of the units that I'm using, but still pretty good in order to get the job done. Now what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to go back to the cores, and you guys can see here I've got a couple blues on her. So I'm going to take this, for example, and I'm going to probably replace it with, I might even just give her, no, you know what, this is fine. This is I can switch it to this just to increase her overall CP, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to actually switch this one out. Let's see, we have this one here, additional defense and MP consumption. This is the same thing, but it's 1% versus 5%. So the one I actually have equipped is much better. So we're going to leave that out. And this one here, I think I got a dark one right here. There we go. Additional HP crit hit damage. When the user lands basic attack 3 times, it restores 2% of their power. That's incredible. We're going to put that on her. And then we're going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to put this on back on Sung. So Sung originally had this one equipped. So we're going to put that back on him. And then here, I don't think I have another Sung one that came out, but we do have this one that just would increase overall combat power. So I'll put that on. You guys can see it went up a little bit. Now, if I go back to the next fight, I should have more power now to do Isol. So there you guys go. That's the full setup with METUS. Pretty straightforward fight. Honestly, like I said, you can use the full light team with Min, Cha, and Gun-Hee. You can use the full wind team with Hansi Mi, Wu, and Mirai. Or you can use the full dark team with Lee Bora or SM Beck as your 2 options there. Using Harper and Charlotte as your main 2 go-to breakers and DPS. Lee Bora probably is a little bit better, but SM Beck shouldn't be slept on if you have a pretty good one, because he can actually put out a lot of damage and also provide you guys with a nifty little bleed on these bosses that will help you diminish their HP much quicker. Alright guys, so there you guys go. That essentially is METUS in a nutshell as a free-to-play player. If you have comments or questions, let me know in the comment section. I will be doing an ESL guide next, and that will be coming out very shortly.